All right, ladies and gentlemen.
It's another Friday show, ladies and gents.
Yes, sir. Welcome back. How's everybody doing today? Hope everyone's having a great Friday night. And we appreciate everybody for tuning in, spending your Friday night here with us. We got a nice little slate planned tonight, a few different things that we're going to
Absolutely.
Couple
Fun new things.
Yeah, a couple new segments we're going to be introducing. So, as you guys have seen on the preview already, we hope you guys are excited for those. And we are.
Guess we'll get into the first one here.
Yes, sir.
Into our little off-season MLB talks.
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing?
Our beautiful faces are back.
Yes, sir, we are back. So, as you guys seen on the preview, we are going to do an MLB card pack opening tonight. It's not anything crazy. Not even going to blow your mind. But as we've said for the past couple of weeks, it's a stale spot in the MLB. So we're trying to come up with things to keep it a little exciting.
Still not much going on in general when it comes to MLB offseason.
Right.
No exciting Shohei news, which is the biggest thing we're still waiting for, obviously, if you tuned into anything. But the Reds have a little pickup. They finally got some pitching relief to add to the bullpen.
Yes,
they picked up right-hander Nick Martinez.
Yes, sir. And I seen some reports myself that I believe there's some somewhat mutual interest with I think he's right-handed pitcher Tyler Glasnow, which would be a decent pickup, obviously, for the depth of our pitching and our.
I feel like we can get some more exciting pickups. We've been in a lot of news recently. India is still part of the roster, and
I know
our infield is so deep, whether the Cincy fans like it or not, somebody's probably going to be moved.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
It's just about who now.
And for what.
Absolutely.
But we'll show you guys this little pack real quick. Like I said, it's nothing crazy. It's a little Topps baseball pack from 1992. About 15 cards in here we're going to rip through, see if I can pull anything crazy. If you guys recognize any cards in here or anything, please feel free to comment. Not super knowledgeable with the baseball cards.
Maybe we'll get a 1990 Shohei card. You know?
Shohei. 1990?
Picture of Shohei as a kid.
Anybody wants to offer on anything? Feel free.
Throwing out the bid numbers on each of these cards.
All right, we'll split these in half. I think there was 15, so 4, 5, 6, 7.
Thank you very much. As well, it's your pack.
All right, you earned it. You want to start? Or you want me to start?
You go with the first one. It's your pack.
All right.
You got the extra.
All right. So first one, we're gonna go with Mark Guthrie from the Minnesota Twins. Looks like he was. I don't know everybody. Looks like he was a pitcher. Here's a picture of him. Minnesota Twins, old decent looking card.
Sounds like a old tight end here, but we have Greg Olson for the Orioles.
Hey, not Greg. Is that Greg?
Not
Did Greg play baseball?
Not the
That's
Greg.
Not the Greg.
No, different Greg.
Listen.
What
was he? He was a pitcher, huh?
He pitched the final inning of the Orioles 2-0 combined no-hitter at Oakland.
Hey, a no-hitter. So he's part of something.
July 13th, 1991.
Hey, what a guy. All right, up next, Scott Servais from the Houston Astros. Looks like he was a catcher. Was a third-round draft selection for the Astros in 1988. Not sure who that is, but respect.
We got Dave Bergman from the Tigers. Had a long career, from what it looks like. Chewy.
Face.
Okay.
Next up, Jay Bell for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Looks like he was a shortstop. Jay belted a 2-run inside the park home run on May 8th, 1991. What a guy.
My guy.
Yeah, he's doing something.
I got Jim. This will be a fun one. Eisenreich, maybe?
Eisenreich.
Designated hitter and outfielder for the Royals.
Hey. All right, next up we have Hal McRae. He actually wasn't a player. He was a manager for the Kansas City Royals.
Shout out him. Oh, speaking of, we got a little comment that I know you'll love to do a little side segment on real quick. I'm hoping Oregon gets in the playoffs.
Listen, I think this game is real quick. Not to switch the subject, but
exactly. I knew you wanted this little side segment, so
Oregon
to Kevin how you feel.
Has looked amazing this year. I'll give them that. But Washington has looked amazing as well. Honestly, if you want to ask me, I think Oregon takes this game tonight. I think it's going to be an absolute shootout. I know the spread set at like -9.5, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if it's really going to be that far apart, but I think it's going to be a shootout, and I think Michael Penix Jr. is going to impress a lot of people.
The prove it game from both teams. So
I'm
I don't know
excited
why
for
the
this game.
spread's so stretched out.
I'm super excited.
All right, back to our regular scheduled program
Yes.
of our pack. I have Dave Stewart here as a pitcher for the Athletics.
Hey.
They've been bums though, so guessing Dave wasn't the greatest.
Next up, we got Lenny Webster from the Minnesota Twins. Looks like he was a catcher. Played 1985.
First baseman Don Mattingly played for the Yankees.
Are we even gonna get a card we recognize?
Probably not.
Yeah. One segment. Barry Jones, next up, played for the Expos. He was a pitcher.
That's the problem. We're the
Played in 1991.
mid-20 sports analytics people here. We're not in our 60s covering.
Yeah.
Or it'd be a little easier, maybe.
We're not in this knowledge, I guess.
Pitcher Joe Hesketh.
Hesketh?
He's hey. Something.
A guy?
Red Sox. It looks like he played when he was about 50.
Hey.
It was a different league back in the day. All these players played in their prime at 45. Yeah.
The longevity was crazy. Next up, we have Sean Bosky, however you say that, from the Chicago Cubs. He was a pitcher. No, actually, I'm going to keep that comment.
Tim Cruz, Dodgers, pitcher.
Hey.
Beautiful.
And last, but definitely not least, maybe least, not sure, Joe Slutslarski.
Slutslarski?
That's how you pronounce it? Slutslarski? Tongue twister.
Sluzhimski.
Maybe.
He's kind of mid.
He looked a little mid. Where did he play? Was it pitcher?
Yeah.
For the Oakland Athletics.
He was 6'4", though. My boy should have been in the NBA.
Hey, pitchers be tall, bro. I'm telling you. All right. That does it for the top baseball 1992 pack. Shout out to anybody that knew any of those guys.
Yeah.
Because your knowledge is crazy. So I sure did not.
I tell you, a couple people that's playing today that I like, but 1992 is a bit of a stretch.
I wasn't even thought about it. 1992.
I was like an all-time legend, like King Griffey, Babe Ruth.
Yeah. I know them guys, but I don't know none of these guys.
I don't know any of the regular Joes from 30 years back.
This is my guy. This is my guy right here.
Since he stand up.
Yeah. Shout out Cincinnati, baby.
It'll be a beautiful year too from Ellie.
I hope so, man. He was nice last year. Boy was a spark. What was it? Dull
expected to be an even duller offense than what was.
Without Joey Votto. Shout out Joey V though, baby.
See him playing in Toronto blue.
He's gonna go somewhere and win a ring. You know, try it at least.
It ain't with us. Not for 20 M's. Sorry, Joe.
But like we've said a million times, we'll continue to say it. Baseball is dull.
Until Shohei signs somewhere or the Reds get a bona fide all-star.
Shamanado, however it's that Japanese kid.
Yeah, it's been a week.
Whatever.
So, yeah.
Ain't heard much.
You can only memorize a name for a few hours.
Yeah.
It's done been a week, so.
I'd have to look it up again. But yeah, shout out him.
Go back into him, Google Translate and have it say it itself a few times.
Yeah. Excuse me real quick.
I'm going to go to the fax machine real quick.
A little chilly. A little cold. All right, anyways.
Anyhow.
I think that about wraps up MLB for the night, unfortunately.
Yeah, for the most part. If you're an MLB fan,
it's a rough time right now, fellas.
Not a lot to tune into.
At all.
Not exciting-wise. You know, kind of the mild pickups.
Like still not even many of those.
You get like an 8th-string player in the NBA. You're like, oh, he might play a few minutes.
He might see the floor and might get hurt.
That's what I'm saying, you know?
People out there building bullpens right now. You know, these guys we don't see very often, but
exactly.
When something sparks, we'll definitely let you know. But that brings us on to our favorite time of the night.
Absolutely.
NFL.
The most intriguing part of the night, we shall say.
NFL should be the most fun that we have tonight, in all honesty. We have a new segment introduced for the NFL tonight. I think it's something some of our fantasy football fans out there would really enjoy. Excuse us while we get this changed over. But you want to let them know what the new segment's going to be?
Spoil all the fun before they get to see it themselves?
Yeah, we'll wait.
Dude, we're only a few seconds off. They'll be excited to see.
But to start off tonight, I think we'll cover what was probably the most exciting Thursday night football game of the year
A
by
long
far.
time, yeah. Nothing's happened recently, and then you finally get something like last night.
Yeah, there we go. We're back with you guys. But yeah, we'll cover started like I said with Thursday night football. What was one of the highest scoring games of the season for both teams.
What cost me over 300 probably total dollars
Yeah.
because I decided, let me throw an under in on the highest scoring game of the season besides the Dolphins Broncos.
Biggest apologies to this man, but
literally, yeah.
Your boy was up last night a little bit. Your boy hit a bet last night, so we up on it. I could have guessed that game was scoring. It's just the Dallas has been high scoring all season.
I just expected a lot from Vegas on their end, trying to get money back, but
they gonna hit their lick this weekend.
Yeah,
be careful betting football this weekend because Vegas definitely wants their lick back after last night.
Oh, absolutely.
I know a lot of people won a lot of money last night.
Absolutely, every prop hit.
Yeah, almost literally.
Ferguson went off. DK Metcalf went off. Charbonnet went off. Pollard went off. CD went off.
Everybody. Yeah. I mean, JSN had a night, bro. I mean, that's a guy that doesn't.
I'm saying everybody was waiting for him to finally get any kind of action this season.
He got it last night, bro. But yes, Dallas came out on top, 41-35, and like we said, what was a super high scoring game that you did not expect because this guy lost a lot of money due to betting on the under.
A lot of money. Yes.
I would have never bet on the under in a game where an offense has scored 30 plus points in almost every game.
I could have seen, Gino going for 2 tutties, but
he did.
Going for 5, a little different.
He went for 2, yeah. He definitely went for 2. He had 4, technically. 3 through the air, which were all to
DK Metcalf, yeah.
Standing on business.
Metcalf, something.
Standing on the sign language. That was so tough, bro.
Standing on something.
That might have been the hardest celebration this year. That was tough because there was even they started talking about it afterwards. DK has actually been studying sign language.
I think
weeks, trying to learn.
I think the week before this game he did another sign language celebration,
which is tough, bro. That's hard
because you can't get fined. You're gonna be. He said, I'm pretty sure he said, I'm him or something. They can't guard me, something last week.
I don't remember what it was, but I seen something on Instagram about it earlier. But
you get up there like these boys and not get fined.
I know we had last week. We predicted some NFL mid-season award. I want to talk about that for a second. Because I think a new name has entered the hunt.
I think one of your names got obliterated last night as well.
Obliterated. One of my names last night.
Your depoy.
Oh, we'll talk about that in a second. Talk about we'll mention both of those. But first, a new man has entered the hunt in the MVP conversation. Listen, it kills me to say this.
I'm gonna say it.
Dak Prescott might just be your front runner for MVP right now. He has an argument to be the number 1 guy. I think on every single sports book in the world right now, he's top 3. Holmes and Hurts.
He's been leading a bunch of QB stats this whole season. It's just the fact that we know who he is when it comes to mattering.
Listen,
this is the first time they beat an above 500 team this season as well.
But we got to talk for a second. This has been the best all-around season Dak Prescott has had since he's entered the league. And you can't tell me I'm wrong. He has shown things in these last 4 or 5 weeks that I didn't think I'd ever see from Dak Prescott.
The whole offense is flowing, but that's the thing. He's going to put up MVP-like numbers, and then the wild card comes. He throws 3 picks and has a 25 passer rating.
I mean, you're absolutely right. It's a possibility.
And it's a possibility you just gave this man a 5-year QB or NFL leading max.
I'm not saying hand him the max right now, but I'm saying if this level of play continues into the playoffs, you have to pay this man long. This is a prove-it year for Dak Prescott.
He took it personally. He's proven it.
He 100% took it personally. I mean, he's tired of the talk. He hears a lot of talk. I'm a hater. I've been a hater of Dak Prescott. I'm not going to lie to you. But I'm going to give credit where credit's due, and he's due. right now. I mean, he's playing fantastic football. He's been super efficient with the ball. I mean, he's not turning it over. He's playing smart football. He's not forcing things. He's putting the ball where it needs to be. There's nothing bad to say.
Got a few more weeks to really prove it, and then if they get in these playoffs
Yeah.
and really prove it,
that was a tough game for them last night. It's been their toughest test of the season so far.
I just couldn't imagine working Cowboys front office and you have a guy that you're almost ready to ship out season after season until his contract season.
Yeah, and he does this.
And then he's an MVP candidate.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine.
Honestly, I think he could be a sneaky MVP winner. I mean, I know he's a candidate, but like I said, if this continues and the Cowboys continue to play good football, he's going to have an argument to win the award.
I can see it.
Dak Prescott winning MVP is wild to me, but it's a possibility.
It's going to turn a lot of eyes.
It's a possibility. Tony Pollard's looked decent. He's had back-to-back games with a touchdown, finally doing what he did last year.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is what I've been all
first 6-7 weeks was a bit stale.
Yeah, it was terrible.
I think the first couple weeks, or the first 1 or 2, we may have had that little outburst, but then it was real stale for a couple weeks there.
Very. CeeDee Lamb continues to show why he's one of the best receivers.
Like I mentioned last week,
he had 2 down
arguing
weeks.
For that. Yeah. He's putting that argument up for Offensive Player of the Year.
I think those few weeks are going to kill him just with the consistency from guys like Tyreek Hill and
AJ
CMC
Brown.
doing it every single week. But CeeDee Lamb is showing he could be a potential future the number 1 receiver, probably the best quarterback in the league.
Higher numbers than Witten and all these other big time Dallas names. So
I mean, he looks good.
Proving a point.
He's making catches at
he's putting himself easily. I mean, he may have been in the top 15, 20, but he's in the top 10, possibly top 5.
He's in the top 5.
Discussion.
Top 5. I think there's a clear top 5 receivers in the NFL right now, and I would almost be willing to set my mind on it.
You think you could list 1 to 5? I think one right now. 1 would be Tyreek. We do 2 AJ Brown.
2 AJ Brown.
Who goes 3?
CeeDee Lamb.
Okay, then who's 4?
Are we talking like? Because I can't do a top 5 without Jettas, but where do I put him? Is the question. I want Jettas in my top 5, but he hasn't. When he's played this season, he's been a top 5 receiver. Yeah, 100%. That's not the argument.
His taped those 4 games and everybody else's.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. I think if anything, he has to be at least 5. I don't think I can put Jettas out of the top 5. My top 3, I'm pretty set on. I guess 4, I could.
Puka Nacua.
I have a name I like at 4, but he's just had a couple good games this season. I know it's probably somebody that you would already expect, but I like 4 is Jamar Chase. I mean, I know he's without Joe Burrow now, but he had a 3 touchdown game a few weeks into the season. I mean, he's had big games for Joe Burrow.
He's proved a point.
He's been good when they look his way. Listen, Mr. 7-Eleven, baby, he's always open.
Just find him.
I think that would be my top 5 right now. And Jettas would obviously climb the list had he not been hurt.
Had he had 11 weeks of tape and not 4.
I do with it. There was a guy that made a big statement last night, though. We were literally just talking about DK Metcalf. He's got to be in an argument now for at least top 10, for sure top 10.
Yeah, because he was getting in the argument for almost bust conversation.
He was having a bad season. I mean, and I know it was just 1 week showing, but what we seen last night is what we expect from DK Metcalf.
He was literally that build, the way he plays. He came in that Calvin Johnson expectation.
Yeah. Speaking of what you mentioned just a little bit earlier, my potential D boy got fried last night. I understand he had a pick, but if you watched the game and you watched what DK Metcalf did
before they moved Ron Bland off of
DK was absolutely frying him. He killed him on the 73-yard touchdown he had. He killed him on
the highest speed of a wide receiver since like 20.
The highest speed of anybody this season.
Since like 2020, and it was Raheem Mostert.
Yeah, top speed. Yeah, took off. Like fried him. That catch, he had his second catch of the game, the 50-yard sideline toe tap, and just right over top of him, bro. Oh my God, he fried him last night. I get Bland had a pick, and I know I was talking big on him last week, but if that's what we can come to expect from top receivers in the league,
you put him in the slot and he looked good. He looked like himself, but
he may be a ball hawk.
You put him on a top receiver.
But, I mean, we had the same argument for his running mate, or technically the guy he's stepping in for, and Trayvon Diggs.
I was literally about to say Trayvon Diggs. He's
These
that ball hawk, but when
these
it
guy,
comes to
yeah,
the downfield plays,
he's getting
all the
fried.
highlights are like, oh, he's burnt. He's getting burnt.
Yeah, he's getting toasted.
So, yikes.
Sorry for the little rant there. We got a little ahead of ourselves. I don't really think there's much to talk about from last week, like game wise. The Eagles Bills was a fantastic game. If you guys watched that, double or not double, but OT. Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen went at it. Broncos beat the Browns. Broncos are out. We can say something about them real quick. They've been hot. The last 5 or 6 weeks. I know our brothers would love to be watching this right now, but Broncos have been good.
Finally hit a win streak that they've been looking for.
Russ looks like he can play football again.
Sean Payton coming for that Coach of the Year award.
I've hated on Denver all year. I still hate Sean Payton. It's all Sean Payton, but
from this side.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess like I said, you got to give credit where credit's due. He's been decent the last few weeks. He's got Russ looking like he can play
top
football.
15, well, top 10 really. The way he's been playing lately.
The Broncos' offense has been okay. Their defense has been even better. So shout out to Denver. You see if they can make a playoff push here to end the season. CJ Stroud continues to impress. I know they lost to the Jags this week, but I know it's crazy to say, but I think Houston can be a playoff team.
Absolutely. Right now, I'm pretty sure if they finish, they are.
They're sitting at 6-5 right now, third in their division behind. Well, I think they're tied with Indy for second division, but
and they're fighting right now against an Indy that's relying on
Gardner Minshew, and now without JT for a couple weeks.
Yes,
but Zach Moss has stepped in and played well. I will give him that.
It'll be something to see.
Yeah. Saints suck. It is what it is. Our offense is dormant. Our offense is terrible. Poor Derek Carr forgot how to play football. Start Jameis Winston.
So. The offensive coordinator in New Orleans needs fired.
Pete Carmichael is just not that guy. Speaking of offensive coordinators being fired, this man's happy. Matt Canada finally got the boot.
The first game without Matt Canada is the first game we hit 400 yards.
I think it was like 2 seasons or something under Matt Canada?
Yeah.
Hadn't had a 400-plus yard game.
That don't tell you something.
Crazy. Patriots still continue to look bad. I don't know what's going on there. Bill Belichick's on the hot seat.
He's fired.
Listen, I seen a rumor that Bill Belichick could be the next head coach for the Los Angeles Chargers, and I think I would love that. Brandon Staley is getting the boot.
I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, I was about to say, Brandon Staley's been having the same issue.
I mean, I know Bill Belichick's old, but he's still Bill, bro. He still has, he still knows football. He can be old. I mean, Pete Carroll's almost 80 years old. He's still out there coaching Seattle, so.
Speaking of your brother, he just said, let's ride.
Yeah.
He's here.
Yeah. I figured one of them might be.
Broncos country.
Yeah, shout out Denver.
Right.
They've been okay. We'll see if they can continue. I know he's hyped, though.
And Jerry Jeudy was having a rough stint there for a minute.
Yeah.
Getting back in some
because his quarterback playing football.
Cortland Sutton's looking beautiful, but
Cortland Sutton's always been
Jerry Jeudy out of
bridge receiver. He's always decent. He's not crazy, but he's not bad. I mean, he's good.
He's almost like football. Who's that third receiver in Buffalo? Gabe Davis.
Gabe Davis is the number 2 in Buffalo. What you mean 3? He's right behind
I just said 3 because he plays a slot position.
Is the 3 in Buffalo.
He plays a slot position. He's like a Julian Edelman. I would have called Edelman a 3 because he just plays a slot.
He was a 2 behind Gronk.
The 1.
He was a 1. Him and Wes Welker. That's conversation for another day. Listen, I'm super excited for what we have planned to start this week. I'm ready to hop into it. I'm super pumped for this, to be honest with you. So, we're introducing a new segment this week. I know we just kind of went on a rant, talked about some random things.
This is going to be a big prove your point between Travis and John here.
This is going to start. Yeah, this is going to start to be a weekly segment. Records are going to be taken. I know we're somewhat into the the season already, about halfway through. But this can also be implemented into the playoffs. It would just.
I was about to say, next season. I mean, it's something that we
milk it down.
Add it in. That's what we do here. We add new things in by the day.
Absolutely.
Join the party.
So, I know we've teased it a lot, but we're starting a new head-to-head fantasy draft every single week for the NFL between the two of us. So, we're going to go back and forth off of the specific week slate. We're going to draft a team of a normal fantasy team without defense. We decided it's going to be quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, tight end and a super flex. So instead of just a flex, we can now play 2 quarterbacks if you prefer that.
It'll
But
be a regular fantasy type
Yeah.
setup where we're gonna just say screw the fantasy part of it, and
Yeah.
we're gonna do a real life whose team does better.
Right. This is obviously going to take some work, not a lot of work, but we'll have to go in and calculate our own things every single week to see who wins. We want to start introducing, a punishment maybe
Yes.
for the loser in the following week. So
Maybe a bonus if we
Yeah.
can type thing.
a disadvantage or just something to kind of help the winner in a way.
Something you fans can chirp in with, and we
Yes.
could be like, oh, the next loser can't select a running back until the last pick or
Right.
whatever you guys made it.
Yeah. So we're gonna hope this is obviously just to kick off the pilot episode of this, but we're hoping it's something that can grow and you guys can be involved in more week by week. So yes, the only thing we'll have to make sure we know is bye weeks. Don't
Yeah.
draft a player
That is not playing.
that is not playing football.
Don't take Lamar Jackson.
All right, but it can be drafted from anybody, obviously, excluding the Thursday night football game that's already been played. We're not going to go out and take Metcalf and CD Lamb with the first 2 picks because they had crazy weeks. But anything else within the Sunday slate and Monday night football are free game. So I know this is the first week. How do you want to do this? You just want to do like a Siri, a coin flip?
I was literally
or
gonna
rock,
have to
paper,
say do
scissors?
Siri right here in front of everybody, so
Right.
everything on that side.
You want her to flip a coin or pick a number? What do you want to do?
Just have her flip a coin.
Okay, you call.
Oh God.
All right. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Flip a coin.
Maybe start a fight. It's tails. Let's go, baby.
It's tails. He has one. All good. All right. So you get the 101.
But that puts
The
more
pressure's
pressure
on, baby.
Oh,
The
God.
101.
So anybody on the board, huh?
Anybody that's playing football this week. Remember your slate. Quarterback, running backs, wide receivers. I'll keep everything written down.
Oh my God.
There was no preparation. We're going into this with a blind eye.
Absolutely. No pre-draft here.
All right, let's go, baby. 101. Who we taking?
You know what? I was gonna go somebody. I'm gonna go CMC.
All right, you have to.
You have to. I was gonna go a Tyreek because he was our last argument almost offensive player of the year split. Who could it be? They're both right there. But I don't remember who mentioned it, but this 49ers Eagles game could be one of the best games of the season.
100%. Oh, 1,000%. Okay. I'm going to ask you a question real quick, though, before I draft. You want to do this as a snake draft, or do you just want to alternate picks? So do you want to do, like, you get the 101, I get the 2, 3, and then you get the 4, 5, and I get the 6, 7, or do you just want to go back and forth?
We'll just go back and forth.
Back and forth.
Well, okay. We're going to lose track at that point.
Okay. All right, so you take CMC with the 101. I'm going to follow that up with the other argument. I'm going to take Tyreek Hill as my 102.
Got it.
So that puts you back on the clock.
Who
did the Dolphins play this week? Commanders. Oh, yeah. Reek was a great pick.
I feel like this is one of the things you don't do in fantasy, but I can't even hate it here. I'm going A.J. Brown.
God dang it.
I know.
I was going to finish my receivers with Reek and A.J. I didn't think you were going to take him. Okay. You're going A.J. Brown. That puts me back on the clock. I really wanted AJ. I hate you for that. This is hard, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
I know this slate and all the once you're actually thinking about it.
Difficult, bro. Wow. No research. Gotta look at matchups. Okay. I think I know what I want to do. Call me crazy. I don't know if this is stupid. I don't know if this is early. Call me crazy. I'm going with my wide receiver 2 to kick it off. I'm going with Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Oh.
I know he's playing the Saints. Our corners are okay. But it's Amon-Ra.
Got a point to prove.
Finish off my receivers quick and easy. You're up. Now I gotta start looking.
I think we'll play it safe. There's some options I like, but I'm gonna play it safe to fill out my running backs. Take Jahmyr Gibbs.
Okay. Okay. I don't hate that. Still need both running. Like your running backs are finished, so I can. I'm not forced to take a running back.
Absolutely.
Okay. I have a couple running
Feel
backs.
free to hop in and be like, dumb pick, smart pick. That's what we're here for.
I have a couple in mind. Like I'm gonna do it before you do it because there's not a lot of good options. I'm gonna take Travis Kelce.
Ooh.
I'm gonna put him on my tight end.
And think about that.
Not many good options at tight end here.
I think Travis Kelce gives me the same prospect of not having to stress about it. Unless I guess you could super flex the tight end.
I probably won't. Okay. You know, with your second receiver?
You know what?
I like the way this is.
I'm going to do it. Receiver 2. Is he healthy? Maybe he's still going to play. Okay, screw it. We were just talking about him. He's out of a QB. Not getting the best of looks, but he's still him. He's still 7-11, Mr. Jamar Chase.
Okay. Okay. I don't hate that.
Like that's one of the riskier ones, just because
I probably wouldn't
your
have done
quarterback.
that. Right?
Yeah,
I don't hate that. Okay. I've been floating this up for a hot second now, but like you said, this is probably going to be the best game of the week. I'm going to fill out my QB position, and I'm going to go with the guy that had 5 touchdowns last week, and I'm taking Jalen Hurts.
I was wondering if I could maybe sneak that one out later on.
That's what I was thinking, but I was like, man, I don't really need running backs. You've already took both of yours unless you super flex one. And then the only other position was my super flex. So you know what? Get my QB one. We'll rock with it.
I guess since really this is the only thing you could still snag from me, I'm going to just go ahead and get it out of the way. I'll take Patrick Mahomes, QB1. Just because it's Patrick Mahomes. That's the thing. Jalen Hurts can have 3 rushing touchdowns and 3 passing touchdowns.
Yeah, I know. That's why I like it. So that puts me on the board with my super flex and both running backs. I'm still debating what I want to do at super flex. Obviously, we can take.
I know it's such a.
It's all you can take any
week. Yeah.
I might save my super flex just so I have some availability here in a little bit. I think I'm probably gonna take my RB1. I don't know. Is this crazy? Crazy?
Is it?
Is it crazy to take him as the RB1? Is there a better option? Am I wild?
Going through every team right now, trying to memorize every depth chart.
I know like who I want, but I'm second guessing myself. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go with RB1. This is crazy, but he had such a great week last week. You can't ignore him. RB1 is wild. I'm going Kyron Williams.
Woo!
When he plays football, bro, he's amazing. And he had a 2 touchdown game last week. I think he had like 30 some fantasy points. I don't hate. It's wild to take him as the RB1 just because of his name, but
he's got a point
fantasy football, he is the RB1.
And before that last week snap of the game, they came out and released, was it Darrell Henderson?
Yeah, but that was his first game back from injury last week.
I know. I don't think he's
had a fantasy game under like 15 points this season.
Yeah, he came in. They released backup.
It's his team.
Yeah, he came in with a point to prove.
Yeah, he played a lot.
I hate that you said there weren't a lot of options for this because I feel like there's a beautiful pick. I'm not going to hate taking here. First game right on the board, Sam Laporta, tight end.
I thought about it, but there's just so many weapons and.
Absolutely, Detroit. That's the problem when
we have 3 Detroit players.
Yes, that's the problem with my.
If that tells you anything.
Yeah, that's the problem with Gibbs and Laporta for me.
And I have a Monroe.
I feel like a Monroe could be almost set for a decent, no matter what, is decent. Yeah. Gibbs and Laporta, it's like, are they going to get that share? Travis Kelce, he's going to get 15 catches. 100 yards. So
Facts. All right, I'm gonna leave my super flex open because I know who I want at RB2. I have two names I'm tossing up. I'm gonna tell you the one I'm not taking, but he's still a fantastic option this week. Zach Moss. No JT. I
ooh,
think Zach
yeah, I'm
Moss.
about to say he was a leading rusher the whole time JT wasn't
He
there.
was amazing. I think I'm playing him in a couple leagues this week off the waiver wire. So he's still a great pick, but another guy who had a 2 touchdown game last week finally did what we've been waiting for him to do. The RB like 3 when the season started. I'm taking Bijan Robinson.
Brother doesn't have the worst take there.
You want me to take Monty?
Monty, me versus you straight up. Since I have Gibbs is what he's saying.
I really want to take Bijan. You know what? Let's do it. Gibbs and
Yeah.
Monty. Who has the better game? I'll take him. David Montgomery.
That's scary now. Oh God.
I could still technically take Bijan if I wanted to.
What?
All right.
God, I haven't been
You're up.
sweating that heavy
Super flex.
until you made that pick. Is that bad?
Good call, bub. Bijan's probably gonna have a great game, but it's whatever. I think I know who I want in my super flex. I really do. Keep watching, bub, because you'll like this pick.
I got a few that I could.
I think I really know who I want. I don't think there's really a question. I should have took him as my QB1, to be honest.
Do I
Don't
go
take him.
quarterback?
If you go quarterback, do not take who I want to take.
I feel bad because I feel like I would be.
You probably are.
So I don't want to do that. Hold on. What do I have real quick?
Listen, this is a competition, so do what you need to do.
I know, I'm scared though.
Do what you need to do, boy.
This pick could mean a lot. You know what? This is part of the me versus you aspect of it. You took Tyreek, I'm going Jalen Waddle.
As your super flex?
Yes. You heard me. Watch.
Jalen Waddle?
The Dolphins are like that.
That's a wild pick for super flex.
Watch.
Okay, who do you think I'm going to take?
I thought you were going to take Justin Herbert.
You want to know who I'm taking?
Well, you put the shout out to your brother.
Super flex. Shout out Bub, because he knows, and they're also playing his favorite team this week. I'm taking future MVP CJ Stroud.
Here we go.
Come on, in the super flex, CJ is going to cook Denver.
Here we go.
Listen, I'm sorry, Bub. I know you like CJ. I know you like Denver, but he's gonna fry Denver's defense.
I don't know.
CJ Stroud is my super flex.
PS2 is gonna shut down that.
No.
Tank
Bell is going to destroy PS2. Okay, it's probably not realistic, but CJ's still going to have a game.
And even if
he threw in a rushing touchdown last week too. Come on, bro.
Here we go.
CJ is nice.
I hate that he's playing the Broncos.
I know. It's unfortunate, but he's going to have a week. CJ really should have been my QB1, but Jalen Hurts is always a good option.
It's unfortunate.
There's our teams. They are officially set. My team consists Jalen Hurts, Kyron Williams, David Montgomery, Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra St. Brown, C.J. Stroud in the Superflex, and Travis Kelce at tight end. Name off your team.
I have Patrick Mahomes, CMC, Jahmyr Gibbs, A.J. Brown, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle on my Superflex, and Sam Laporta filling in the tight end.
Yes, sir. Our team
Nico is probably going to have a nice game.
That's a very good call.
Nico Collins breakout. Your brother as well.
Oh yeah, that's a good call. I don't hate that. Nico Collins has had a few good games this season, and yeah, with PS2 probably gonna be locked on to Tank Dell all night. Nico's due for a good game. Maybe even Dalton Schultz.
Oh.
Maybe even Devin Singletary, who's had quite a few good games for Houston.
I feel like the middle linebackers where the Broncos started falling off ever since. Their
defense has been solid, though. I will give them that. But CJ is a top 5 quarterback. Don't let the name fool you. CJ Stroud is him. I've been saying
at
that.
The end of the CJ Stroud is a league clip.
Go look at our pinned clip.
It literally says, next season, CJ Stroud will be Coming in as a top 5
I'm
quarterback.
telling you, bro. When you got it, you got it. When you know, you know. Simple as that. But yes, that is officially our new segment we are introducing. It's going to be a weekly thing. Starting next week, we will obviously go over the winners, the points of this week's draft.
We'll do a punishment, an
An
advantage. We'll figure something out.
something. We got 7 days to figure it out, and then we will be drafting for next week live on show as well. So if you are excited for that new segment, stay tuned to that every week. It's probably something we'll start posting about as well.
And come join us. I
Keep
mean,
everyone updated.
there's 15 Sunday slate games by the time we hop on our Fridays. Come be the third.
Absolutely.
We'll have 4 of us. Let's start getting these drafts filled out.
Yeah,
So just let us know if you'd like to hop in at some point.
Just a fun little segment to compete with your buddies. Just something to keep you guys a little entertained. Super excited for that. See how that goes. Oh, but man, that was a lot of NFL talk.
Absolutely.
We filled you guys in on quite a few things already. We have an NBA segment tonight. It's something a little different that we haven't. I know our NBA stuff hasn't really been as organized as our other topics, but we do have a few things we'd like to pinpoint tonight with NBA. So we'll transfer over to some NBA talk. Appreciate you guys for being tuned in. Hope you guys are enjoying your Friday night and spending time here with us, the Travis and John Show.
Nothing we cherish more than your responses and time with the Travis and John Show.
So we'll kick it off in the NBA. We got two specific things we kind of want to cover. Our first one is going to be players on the hot seat / rumors. So it's going to be more like trade rumors. Is somebody going to be moved by the trade deadline? Those type of things. Fill you guys in on those. I think the biggest one not the biggest one, but one I seen today. One that's really cool. The Chicago Bulls, I think, are officially clearing house. I think they realize the roster they have together is not going to work. It has been announced that DeMar DeRozan will be moved by the trade deadline this year.
I could see Zach LaVine being moved.
Oh, he's been in trade
rumors. Yeah. I've seen that one.
DeMar DeRozan had 2 favored destinations. I think it was the Miami Heat and I don't 1,000% remember the other one, but he had 2 specific ones that he wanted. And you know how the NBA has been this season with players wanting to try to control their destiny and go where they want to go.
Absolutely.
So we'll see what happens with that being brought out. But some other guys on the trade block. So obviously, like you said, the Bulls clearing house. I know this is probably crazy to say. There hasn't been many rumors, but I've seen a few things about it. Chris Paul being moved on from Golden State, which I know sounds crazy.
I think it's more in the aspect that they know they're... I don't know. It's weird to say because it's almost like they're sheltering a talent, but he's also at the age where this is supposed to happen. So given starting minutes, he's still not going to come out and average 20 and 10.
But that's the thing. He hasn't been gaining starting minutes. I mean,
no,
he's
came barely
off the
played
bench quite a few times
Yeah.
this season, if not more than he has started.
That's what I'm saying. He's barely played in general.
Which is crazy, considering his name is Chris Paul, and he's always been, a top point guard in the league.
Exactly. He was behind John Stockton in assists, like one of those people.
But if Golden State does move on from Chris Paul, for one, is anyone going to be interested in a guy this old? Is he going to Is he going to benefit anybody? And 2, what would a team even give up for a 40-year-old point guard way past his prime?
Maybe a second-round pick.
The Warriors have been in a slump. I think it's very, very likely they move on from him.
It's very apparent that Klay Thompson's had a decline, and everybody outside of Stephen Curry's essentially useless.
Wiggins hasn't really had the greatest start to the season as we expect from him.
Draymond Green's had just more drama than
ever before. Yeah.
Triple singles.
Yeah, literally 6, 6, and 6. I should.
Well,
6 and
5. Was the worst random choice.
6 and 5.
5
assists, 6 rebounds, 8 points. There we go. But yeah, where he goes, I don't really know. I don't. Wherever he goes, I don't think he's going to be a starter at all. I think that point of his career is way gone.
They said he's on the books for $30.8 million.
He had he's still on the contract that he signed with Phoenix.
Wow.
Yeah. Still getting. I mean, it's Chris Paul. He's still making his money.
That also leaves Kuminga and Moody on the Warriors, but I feel like those are just 2 pieces that have
think though,
stuck on the trade block for the simple fact they just haven't blossomed.
it's because it's the
Golden
only
State.
trade bait they have.
Yeah.
And everybody else is old and past their prime outside of old Wardell. But
Yeah.
I mean, where he goes, I couldn't tell you. What they give up for him, probably a bag of chips and a Frito, a bag of Frito Lays.
Yeah. He'd be
I don't know.
lucky.
Yeah,
He'd be lucky to start anywhere. I don't know.
he won't start anywhere. Like he's gonna come off the bench no matter where he goes. That's for sure. A guy that has still continued another decently bigger name has continued to be on the trade block for a couple years now, and a guy that's probably at his peak and to compete. Pascal Siakam.
Absolutely.
He has his one
That's a good
ring
point.
from Kawhi Leonard, in Toronto, but
Looked like an all-star with Kawhi
Yeah.
Leonard. Well, I'm pretty sure was an all-star with
an
Kawhi
all-star.
Leonard.
Yeah,
And now, I mean, ever since he just hasn't gotten the number one option, he hasn't been given the responsibility. He hasn't had the chance.
I mean, you have up and comer Scotty Barnes, who's playing really good basketball so far this season in Toronto. You have your number 7 pick, I think, something like that. Man, don't quote me on that, but Grady Dick, who I think is going to be a
Really
good ball player when he gets minutes. But I think Pascal's timeline doesn't match up with Toronto. They're a team that building for the future at the moment, trying to gain some good young talent, and Pascal is not young. I mean, he's getting up there in age, and he has probably hit his peak. So it's time to sell high now while he has some value and get what you can out of him because he's not going to be there long term regardless.
Yeah, I feel like he's not even going to play with full passion, even if he is. It's over.
Yeah. He doesn't want to be a part of a rebuilding team.
Linking back to the Zach LaVine DeMar bust down Bulls trade we were discussing earlier, the Heat as being linked to Zach LaVine, that puts them back on the trade block with Tyler Hero, Kyle Lowry, and Duncan Robinson.
Kyle Lowry and Duncan Robinson, I could see being on the trade block. Tyler Hero has always been a guy discussed.
He has been in every possible move. A Jaylen Brown trade, this trade.
As we even discussed a few weeks ago, Tyler Hero is playing his best basketball to date. I think he's averaging like 24, 25 points per game.
He came out proving it wasn't just a fluke.
Right. So, I mean, yes, right now, if you want to trade Tyler Hero, if he's not the future for Pat Riley and them boys, sell him now. Getting him off while he has value. Yeah, you have to. Kyle Lowry, this is probably the last year he'll be relevant, unfortunately.
Exactly.
Barely plays for Miami now and is making a crap ton of money. And then Duncan Robinson. He makes a lot of money. I know that, and he shoots threes. That's about it.
I was gonna say he's almost like I'm forgetting his name. A Herder almost in Sacramento. Yeah. Somebody you rely on to knock down threes and take up 12, 13 mil of your cap space.
Yeah, I think he's making close to 20. To be honest with you. I think he's up there. I think like 17, 18. So it's gonna be a hard contract to move for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the Heat need to make a few changes. I don't think they're as good as they expected to be. I think they have way more room to be better. We'll see if they sell high on those guys or not. We're closing into this part of the season. Obviously, there's smaller guys like the Nets have been rumored to trade guys like Spencer Dinwiddie and Dorian Finney-Smith, maybe Cam Johnson. I think he's been linked a few times.
I think Cat's been on the trade block a few times. A bunch of those if and when type trades.
100%. That kind of leads us into our next topic, though. Topic I'm a little excited about. I got a few different things I'd like to talk about when it comes to this. Biggest surprises / disappointments. I know we're only barely not even 20 games into the season just yet.
Well, that's the best part.
Speaking of this, real quick before we start talking about that, we're talking about NBA, right?
We
have a parlay to finish. Sorry, guys. We were attempting to build a parlay before the show started. Some odds have moved and some games have been locked. So we had to wait for it. So we're going to finish that now. Real quick before we go live. Or before we start talking about this. So Sixers Celtics, their pops are back up. We can kind of walk you guys through this. We need 2 more picks from this game to create our 12-leg parlay for the night.
Back into FanDuel.
All right, so you thinking, what did we have on this game before? We had, what was it, D'Anthony Melton maybe for,
I believe.
Oh my God, and they're all locked.
It's still showing me Mitch Rob's 8 rebounds are locked.
We might have to pick. We might have to pick a different one on that game then. We only got what 6 minutes
Yes,
before it
sir.
starts, so we're taking off Mitch Rob. We'll have to find a different one for the Knicks. All right. And everything for that Sixers Celtics game still locked too. It's on there, but they're locked.
Get some money line because they know, God knows what's going to happen with it.
Okay, so we need another Knicks one real quick.
Can Brunson get 4 assists?
Minus 440. I don't hate that.
Like we talked about that one earlier.
Yeah. Let me double check on that super quick before we just.
Because he just had like a 40-point night the other night.
Yeah, that's what's iffy. If Julius Randle doesn't play, he's going to shoot a lot.
Yeah.
42, but he had 8 assists. His last 5 has been 8, 7, 8, 3, 6. He averages 5.4. I think 4 is. We'll go with that.
We're going to have to make some riskier picks.
Yeah.
Fun if you're joining for the live, though. But got to make some riskier picks now because we've been jacked with all the random late last minute odds switches. And
I don't know what to do with this Sixers Celtics game. Maybe we leave it off.
Or we take a money line. I mean, it's not going to change much. It adds $19 to our total.
I would rather just do it with
bad odds.
Throw a little bit on this.
You got 10 legs?
Yeah. Shall do.
What we throw in on this?
What are you throwing? Let's see. Let me see. Oh, you have a boost? Oh, it's your bonus.
Yeah.
That was a boost.
Hey, man.
You can throw your bonus on it?
I might.
Low key.
It's the hundo mark.
Want to do it?
I don't know. I kind of want to put that on like a lock, you know?
Right. This ain't bad. Little 10-legger we cooked up.
Maybe just do like a 725 type thing so we hit a hundo. $101. $100.90.
Okay. That what you doing?
I'm with it. Let's do a quick little prayer for the games tonight. Everybody tuning in.
Yeah.
Wish us the best.
This is wild.
Do it.
All right. Get it. Got that one in there. We'll delete that. All right. And I also...
Tyrese Maxey will not play versus Celtics. I don't know why I'm just now getting that.
That's why the game's been locked.
Yes.
So we'll just fade off of that game.
They just came in and finally announced.
Well, at least our Celtics money line, we caught it at minus 260. Remember? Because it's like minus 800, isn't it? Minus 720. We caught it at the perfect time. Yeah, so sorry, guys. We made a money line parlay earlier, and we caught that Celtics money line at the perfect time. Because they're going to destroy him without Maxey and Embiid. Let's get it, baby. I'm betting on this Oregon-Washington game, too, for sure. That game starts. So I can do that later. All right. Back to scheduled content.
This is the fun surprises and disappointments.
Okay, I'm going to start on the surprises side because I have two of my top 2 surprises.
A lot of surprises.
You want to kick? Because I think my main one isn't going to be yours. So do you want to kick off, or do you want me to kick off?
I'll kick off with my personal, just because I need to.
No, because I think your personal is going to be my number 2.
You think my personal apology is going to be my number 2?
Oh, your apology? I thought you were going to say your personal pick.
I mean, it's a pick, but it's an apology.
Okay.
In itself, because
okay,
I didn't expect it. I mean, it's a surprise.
Okay.
But I also was a hater because I didn't expect him to be this good.
Okay.
Chet Holmgren.
Okay.
Putting himself high in the number 1 spot for the most part for the Rookie of the Year conversation.
Okay.
Obviously not the biggest surprise. I have more played out, but that was one that I was thinking of the other day that I just needed to get out of the way because I've had a lot of hate towards Chet, and he has proved himself.
I agree with you. I'm happy with that. I'm gonna save my number 1, because it's more of a team, I guess. My main player, biggest surprise so far this season. You're gonna enjoy this one. This may sound like a little hate, but it's not. I promise. Tyrese Halliburton.
Absolutely.
He has surprised me to the limit. Oh my God!
And the
Can
way
that
he's
22-year-old
in the
kid play
in-season
basketball, bro?
tournaments.
Oh,
Woo.
he leading the league in assists again this year. It's sitting at like 12 a game or something.
Yeah.
Averaging like 27, 28 points, shooting like 50% from three. He is hooping,
My brother
bro.
made a bet last night, and I had the nerve to be like, "Oh, it was like his points and assists." And I was like, "No, he's not gonna get that. He'll get the assist easily, but it was like 35 or something." I was like, "Nah, I don't think he'll drop another 20-some point game."
Dude,
Came out and scored almost 40 again.
he
Well,
is
40 some,
like
and
that.
we lost. So
He's a hooper, bro. Biggest player surprise of the season for sure goes to Ant.
absolutely.
Jesus Christ, to Tyrese. Why did I say Ant?
Well, I went with it because I was like, "Yeah, that sounds right."
Yeah, no, Tyrese.
I would do want to give another quick surprise shout out to the Brooklyn Nets. Since we're just no way.
No, but what did I tell you? From the start of the season, I said
I know.
don't sleep on Brooklyn.
And I did. And now they're one of the biggest surprises because
Brooklyn is solid.
they have been beautiful and their lineups have been amazing.
Ben Simmons has been solid.
He needs to get that Rookie of the Year talk
Bro,
he deserves.
I'm telling you. No, listen, I've always been a somewhat Brooklyn guy. I think they are always decent. I think their coaching staff is good enough to put together a competent enough roster to, play decent basketball. Even after they were sitting like third in the East when they traded everybody.
Yeah, Cam Thomas and
brought
Mikal
in
Bridges
and and all the boys. Yeah, and they came in and kept them as a play-in team.
They expected it to be like that Timberwolves, Celtics trade, Garnett, bunch of bums. No, they've kept them relevant. They've got them better.
Cam Thomas can hoop.
Yeah,
he has shown spurts of that so often, like between the last couple seasons.
Last season, like 4 or 5 40-point games in a row.
Yeah, straight. I remember so many people made so much money off Cam Thomas,
if you were
35 plus
any
points
of those,
last season. Crazy, bro. But no, listen, Brooklyn's not a surprise to me. I expected this. My biggest team surprise, and it kills me to say this because how is this working? Actually, I guess I have two technically. My main one though is the Minnesota Timberwolves, bro. Yeah. Sitting at 14-4, atop of the West, have been on top of the West for the last 2 weeks.
With
are playing good ball, bro.
To be one of the worst teams in the league.
How is Cat and Rudy working?
It didn't last season.
It didn't. But shouting out the Timberwolves, I'm also going to give a shout out to Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, he's coming to himself this season.
Bro, after his stint with Steve Kerr in the USA Olympics team, I knew he was going to have a breakout season. And my God, bro, is he? Like 27 a game.
Yeah, like 27, 7.
I was scrolling through Instagram earlier, and I saw someone comment on like a post talking about the Timberwolves. And somebody made such a great point, and it's sat with me since. Ant is what Minnesota thought Andrew Wiggins was going to be.
Absolutely.
And that statement stuck with me so hard because it's the truest thing I've heard in such a long time, bro.
Literally.
Wow. That is facts, bro.
They drafted Andrew Wiggins 2.0 and Ant Edwards, but he panned out.
And he did it. Yeah, and did he do it? My God. I also have another team that kind of biggest surprise in it. I mean, if you were ready to go, you can throw out your next one. But
I mean, I was kind of thinking disappointment side.
We'll count some disappointments after this. But I want to give a huge shout out to who I took as my coach of the year, I believe. I don't think I took him in the predictions, but point we were talking about the Dallas Mavericks. Luka and Kyrie are finally working.
You did say Jason Kidd at one point. I don't remember when. I don't know if it was a show. It may have been the last.
It was
couple weeks.
But but huge shout out to Dallas, bro. It's finally working, and Luka and Kyrie look like they can coexist. It was something I never expected, which is why it's a surprise.
You from day one came out and said, no, they're not going to work. Yeah.
Hated that trade. I never thought two ball-heavy point guards like that could coexist. And last year, they couldn't. But with a year under their belt and, some off-season time training together, they finally figured it out. Now it's meshing. They didn't give up on it. So shout out to Jason Kidd and Dallas for figuring out how to make that work. And that's what it worried about here.
Yeah. All they needed is to figure out how to make it work, and they're getting there.
Yeah. We can bounce over to some disappointments. Do you want to kick that off?
I feel like this is a mainstream one, but I would just want to say the Damian Lillard Giannis lineups have been
mid.
Yeah, mid is a good word.
Mid.
I was gonna say underperforming, obviously, but I don't want to say they've been too terrible. But when it comes to Damian Lillard and Giannis, expectations have been kind of bad.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. They definitely been very mid. I don't think it's something to worry about just yet. 'Cause they've been decent enough to win games. I think they're sitting above 500, but I think they need to figure it out more before playoff time. That's what scares me.
Yeah, that's the thing. What confuses me is they had Chris Middleton looking like a weapon for multiple seasons.
Yeah,
Not just that 3-point artist, looking like a weapon. He'd come in and drop 30-plus point games.
100%.
And now Dame's having a stalemate start, and I don't know if it's the ball dominant perspective of it or
they have some figuring out to do. Obviously, Dame and Giannis are both guys that are used to being the number one guy on their team and not having to share with another guy of their caliber. And even Giannis came out and said, I know they want to play together. And Giannis came out and told Dame, this is your team. But in the back of his head, he knows it's his team.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you tell Dame that to make him feel better, but you're an MVP, a finals MVP. You
got
led
a
him to a
ring.
championship. Yeah, like
your banners all over the stadium. Your banners are all hanging in the practice arena.
It's you. It's your team. Dame just come to
There's one dude that Dame knows that bought a Dame jersey and makes him feel at home when he comes to the games.
Right. So just figure it out, man. You guys can be fantastic together. You just figure it out. Like I said, it's like Kyrie and Luka had to figure it out.
A couple of nights like homies in the gym and just figure out what y'all got to do. If Dame's got to sit in the corner and play off ball like Curry, or
y'all don't have to be ball heavy at all times to play to their full potential. They're two guys that can play every aspect of basketball.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like whether it's the team, I'm obviously not an NBA coach, but whether it's the team practicing together or them two, I feel like you could figure it out. Put your ego to the side and 100%. Still put 30 up a piece
and go win games.
Yeah,
and go win another
be dominant.
Ring. Yeah,
you gotta figure out where you're best at.
That's why they were
right there with the ball.
Right. Hopefully they, like I said, hopefully they figure it out. My biggest disappointment so far this season, and it's a disappointment for sure. I think we kind of expected them to be bad, but I expected them to be better than what they've done. The Detroit Pistons.
Absolutely.
Lost every single game in the month of November on a 16-game losing streak.
Cunningham's not him.
And I don't want to say that.
I don't want to knock Gabe Cunningham, who's been pretty decent.
But that team has so much potential with a coach that has good experience in Monty Williams, a really good coach that was in Phoenix.
One of the first couple of games, Isaiah Stewart came out and had a 20-20 game.
Yeah. And they have guys like Asor Thompson, who has been a top 4 rookie this year. Jalen Duren, who's a double-double machine.
Yeah.
I mean, James Wiseman didn't pan out, but we know that. Let Jaden Ivey play ball. He can hoop. I mean, you have these young guys that can play ball. Get rid of Get rid of Killian Hayes. Sell high on Bogdanovich at the trade deadline. Get in some more young talent, some more draft assets, and just play ball.
Figure out the rotation.
Yeah, come on. There's so much talent on that team and so much potential that the reason they're on a 16-game losing streak is beyond me.
Yeah, it hurts to see all that potential resulting in nothing.
I feel bad for Monty too, bro, because it's a horrible look on him. Monty's a good coach. I liked him in Phoenix, but
this is making him look bad.
Yeah, this is making him look real bad.
Speaking of team disappointments, the declawed Memphis Grizzlies.
That was my next take. Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah. I knew they weren't going to be amazing without Ja, but
we expected them to be decent. Desmond Bane has
at the least
been beautiful with or without Ja,
and he hasn't been terrible, but he hasn't taken that next step like we kind of wanted him.
When it comes to leading the team, I mean, they're out of 30 and 10 point guard almost,
right?
And D-Bane's putting up almost average stats that he's been putting.
We love D-Bane around here. Trust me, my jersey right behind this computer screen has a D-Bane signature on it. We love D-Bane.
Mine's at home,
but I kind of wanted to see more. We know what he can do. We know he's a 20-plus point game per night kind of guy. Like, we know he can run an offense, play point guard.
Shouldn't have been a first-round pick and got in the first round and done a lot more than expected. But when it comes to leading the team now, all the responsibility basically being put on your shoulders, Not a good look
at all. So, man, I know Ja comes back here in just like a week or two. Um, a huge get
Hopefully,
back
yeah.
for Memphis, but
Hopefully he comes back, cranks some young boy in that locker room,
listen,
and gets his vibe back, I guess.
I hope D Bain. I don't even know because he had his opportunity, kind of let it slip away from him.
Yeah, only a few games left to randomly prove himself.
But we know he's good. I think he'll be better with Ja. It'll kind of take the attention off of him. Everybody will be focused more on old Morant. So hopefully he gets back in his groove. But yeah, Memphis has definitely been a little disappointing to start the season. Oh man, player. I'm thinking like, I don't know if there's really been many big like here like specific disappointments.
I will mention it's sort of a surprise and a disappointment, but I'll elaborate. The surprise side is the Philadelphia 76ers. The
This is
disappointment is
literally
the James Harden Clippers
oh,
situation.
not where I was.
No.
It included Philadelphia, but you
Well,
lost me there.
no. I'm talking about the fact that obviously they started to have a little bit more
Yeah,
success
but
than
yeah,
at the very beginning, but
it was a horrible
the Sixers
experiment
came
to
out
start.
being expected, oh, they lost James Harden, they're going to be bad. We're beautiful. And then the Clippers, like, oh my God, they got James Harden, they're going to be good. And they were garbage, hot, fire. So,
Also brings in of what I was going to say another decent surprise. I think it was the front runner for most improved player right now in Tyrese Maxey, who has
absolutely. A
played
50-point
fantastic
game against
basketball since James Harden left,
50-point
putting
game.
up 30 on a nightly basis, like 20 points at least. I mean, he's playing
He
good ball.
showed the little flashes last season, and then
Yeah,
finally getting the drama out of the way.
he's the
He's
number
him.
one guy. Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's showing why he should be. I seen it was a crazy clip. I saw it on Insta, but one of the fans were talking to him. I don't remember what game they were playing, but they were losing, and it was without Embiid, I believe. And Tyrese Maxey was standing close to the sideline, and somebody was talking to him like, "Man, what are y'all doing? Come on!" And Tyrese like looked up and he said, "What else you want me to do, bro?" And like pointed at the screen. He had like 33 points or something. And it was one of the coolest clips
Man,
I've seen, bro. Like Tyrese is owning the fact that he knows he's good, bro. I
I
love it.
feel like if you've looked at the rookie ladder from maybe like preseason prediction type thing to even week one to now, there's a big name missing off there. Scoot Henderson.
Disappointment.
I get that the Trailblazers are bad,
But
but
he
good God.
but he has been terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's no other way around it. He's just been god awful. I think he's shooting like 20 less than 30% from the field. I think he's like 10% from three.
Yeah,
Like
we talked about, I mean, him coming in and being that Dame 2.0 and
he has
being a
not.
jaw almost with the way he drove to the basket. And
He's trying to do too much too early.
because he knows he's the only option in Portland.
Listen, I give me Anthony Simons all day over Scoot. At this point, Scoot has been a crazy disappointment.
Yeah, they're throwing up random names in the last 3 through 5 rookie votes, and Scoot's not even getting considered at this
No,
point.
because of two guys behind the top two in Victor and Chet, obvious. Two guys that kind of surprised me a little bit to be this high in the rookie of the year race. One is a guy that I guess isn't crazy surprising, was the number 4 pick in Sora Thompson, who played good ball despite Detroit's troubles. But another guy, I think my biggest surprise rookie, even outside of Chet, because we kind of expected him to be
Maybe the
decent,
one I saw.
Jaime Jaquez
Oh
Jr.
no,
from
I
the
didn't see
Miami
that one, but
Heat.
he just proved his point. I
Bro,
think last night
he has been
he had over
the
20 against the Pacers.
the fourth best rookie of this class so far this season. 1,000,000%, no questions asked. He has been great,
He's
bro.
got no recognition.
No, he's putting up 16, 17 points a night coming off the
He just
bench.
scored
He
over
can
20
be
against the Pacers.
outside of rookie of the year. I think he's in conversation for $6 million of the year at this point, bro. He is hooping. I mean, he can
I
play
think
ball,
he
bro.
deserves at least more recognition.
Oh,
At least.
1,000,000%. He's putting up 20 points per game. I mean, 25. I think he's even had like close to a 30 night. Like, he's playing ball, bro.
Yeah.
Oh man. Any more things that come to mind off the top?
That I know of, I'm sure by tomorrow. That's the fun thing with our Friday shows. There'll be more to add, but
which will go into next week's slate.
Absolutely.
Keep things updated week by week. My throat's starting to get a little dry, though. I will say that. We have been talking a lot. But it's been another fantastic show. I had a lot of fun with this one.
Absolutely.
And obviously, we're just going to build off of this. So, with these new segments and new things introduced each week, it's going to get better and better. We hope you guys enjoyed the few new things we've done tonight. We're trying our best to keep you guys entertained throughout the dry drought of the MLB offseason.
Absolutely.
Right in the midst of NFL and NBA. So we're having fun with that. We hope you guys are as well.
We're always looking for more fan interaction, way to get you guys more involved, way to keep the show more entertaining and involving, obviously. We try to make it better week by week.
Absolutely. We appreciate you guys spending some time with us on this beautiful, dark, and muggy Friday night.
That's the bad thing about wintertime. It starts getting dark about 4:35.
Yeah. But, like I said, we appreciate you guys tuning in, hanging out with us for a little bit. Stay tuned to our socials, obviously, here on Facebook where you guys are watching us, and all of our other socials on our link tree on our Facebook page. So go check that out. We offer every single social media platform there is.
Absolutely. We'll be back next Friday, of course, with some of the same, some new, as usual. Absolutely. We appreciate, like you said, everybody tuning in. It's getting to the hard part where we got to say our goodbyes, wrap up the show. But we're here every Friday. Absolutely. So not too long of a break.
Absolutely. Oh, man. Hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed your Friday night show with us. Stay tuned. We'll see you guys back here next week live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday.
Get to the best part. Drum roll, please.
As always,
live on Facebook Live.